This episode of the Long Run Podcast is sponsored by Skechers.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the biggest podcast, running podcast in this solar system. It's getting bigger every week, Wilco.
I heard there was one in Mercury that was going quite well, but obviously not.
This is the award-winning long run show brought to you by our friends, colleagues, store owners that we wrecked in the week, Skechers. We'll talk about it in a minute. Head over to skechers.co.uk, but thank you very much to them for sponsoring this episode. We really do appreciate it. If you're listening to this for the first time on your little run that you're out doing, we record this live, people. Anything could happen, as it did earlier, and I'm going to let you into a little secret in a minute. But yes, we record this live. If you are watching this live, get involved in the chat section thing that we've got going on. Questions, whatever you want to do, get involved with the conversation. Tonight we're talking about setting goals. Benefits of that, how to do it, that kind of thing. We'll go on to that in just a bit. So get involved with the chat thing or whatever it's called, the chat box thing. Tonight I've got with me Sabrina's here, Wilco's here, and Speako's back without a hat. Just put that out there. Missing the hat as always. So yes, the reason I mentioned about the live bit, I was just doing a pre-record with Hayden. So if anybody doesn't know Hayden's story, he did the 6 stars. He finishes the 6 stars major. So we did a pre-record that will come out over Christmas.
He never mentioned it.
I set it up. I don't want to spoil too much, but I set it up to start with and said, Hayden, we've got 30 minutes, maybe 28, because my pizza's going to be delivered.
I just had pizza too.
And you can imagine it sort of didn't go to plan. So you'll have to wait. I'm going to have to edit the video. Let's just put that out there. So, as always, award-winning. Yes, Toby, you feel like you look like you're going to say something.
I was just wondering what was on the pizza. Was it vegan?
I had pepperoni, double pepperoni, and triple cheese, and it's quite nice.
So not vegan?
No, it's my 10% day of not being vegan. 90% most of the other time, and 10%.
Just when you're eating, the 10% when you're eating.
Yeah. I've got to give a shout out to the guys at Start Fitness. Use the code 40 rounds. You're going to get 10% off there. They are smashing the living daylights out of their Christmas stuff at the moment. So if you're looking for Christmas deals, head over to there. It's not sponsored by them, but we think they do a good job. So head over there if you want to use the code 40 runs. I've got another big announcement, 2 big announcements, 3 big announcements. If I get them in the right order, it'll be amazing. Firstly, the London Marathon. If you're a club member of 40 Runs, so 40, if you didn't know, right? 40 Runs Running Club is the biggest running club in the UK, right? And we offer free membership to everybody. Anybody could be a member of 40 Runs, right? Any ability. We've got over 30 local groups meeting up all over the country. We've got virtual groups. We've got everything going on, right? Shakeout runs, taking over London, whatever you want to do, right? But also, we offer affiliation to England Athletics, which you can do. Now, part of that, you get the opportunity to go into our own club, London Marathon ballot. Now, this year, the guys at the London Marathon and England Athletics cut the places down to 2 for a club of our size. It used to be like 4 if you had over, I think, 350 members, which we do easily. So anyway, we've only got 2 places here, but the email's just gone out. So if you're an affiliated member, check your inbox because you might want to go into the thingamajig, the ballot. That actually, I'm actually going to, and you lot, we're going to draw that live on this show, just as a heads up. So we're going to draw that out on the 8th of December. We're going to we're going to draw it live on here because I just.
Can I just say, what could go wrong?
I just thought it'd be, and also I've got to give a shout out to Mel and Paula and Carolyn because our volunteers, I think, are going to be having another London Marathon place that we can give away again. So you've got to be a club member to be involved in that. But I'm hoping again also to do that on here. So we're just going to be giving away London Marathon places. So that's another reason to be part of our running club. But yes, so that was that. There was another announcement. Oh, last one, then we will start talking about what we're going to talk about. National Running Show, people. Confirmed. Saturday, 11:15?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Thanks. Glad you're here.
Sorry.
11. Is it 11 a.m.?
I think so.
We're on the agenda. Have a look. But 40 runs, long run show, the team. We're going to be live on stage at, we think, 11 o'clock.
It is 11 o'clock.
On Saturday, we're going to be up there for 45 minutes, causing absolute chaos. Poor old Colin, he's on at the same time. Bless him. He ain't going to have a clue why no one's there. So we're all going to be there. Come along, watch this live show that we do. You'll be blown away. We're talking about, can everyday runners do world majors, which I think is brilliant. It's a great topic. We're going to have a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who that is, but I've got a special guest lined up who's going to be joining the hosting panel. So that's going to be on the Saturday, and then we've got the shakeout run, group run in the evening at 5:30. There's already 200 of you already signed up for that. So God only knows how many there's going to be. You can get, now I appreciate you've got to pay for tickets this year, which is whatever. But you can use the code 40 runs and you get it 25% off of the price of a ticket to the show. I've got how much it is. I've got no idea how much it is. But you can do that till December, I think the 20th. I might have got that wrong. I should have read the email. All I saw was 25% off and used the code 40 runs. And there was a date, but I didn't read it. So again, if you want to come to the National Running Show, see us. We're there all weekend with a stand. We won't be doing much on there. I've had a brilliant idea what we're going to do with it. But we are going to be there, cocking about as usual. Simon will probably be drinking tea. And I'll be like floating about as usual. But we've got a brilliant stand idea that we're going to do, interactive, and we're going to be live on stage, smashing up the place. I've already got a great intro song, Wilco, lined up. Yeah, like so. If you missed the Newcastle one, listen back to it. But I had the Blues Brothers intro.
Oh yeah.
I'll go bigger. I'll go bigger this time. Hopefully, we don't get a copyright strike. But it's honestly, everyone's going to go mad when I play it, especially when Toe turns it up so loud that he gets told off. Tove, I'm looking at you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still here, mate.
Are you excited? Wilco, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the National Running Show, even though you're not going to be there?
Even though I'm not going to be there, so I'm not that excited. But
No.
I'm excited for the opportunity that is giving you to promote everything that's brilliant about this running club, whether it is being on stage, chatting about great achievements from people at this running club, or meeting people in the flesh and going for a nice spin around the surrounding area of the National Exhibition Centre in the heart of the country.
Good man.
Unfortunately, I can't be there. Don't let that put you off. In fact, that's probably a plus. So you'll probably
we'll miss you, Wilco. We are going to miss you. But don't worry, I pulled out the big guns to save the day. Admin, scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for not necessarily the show in terms of the actual NEC thing, but the actual being back on stage with your crew, with your fans?
I mean, less of the fans and less of the crew. I am excited because I know who the special guest is. So that is the bit that I'm excited about. I'm not excited for what you've got in store because
I've got a game, by the way. I have got a game.
I know. What I've heard on the train the other day was I've got a game, and he thought about the music in about 3 seconds and then just kept going, I've got a brilliant idea. I've got it. So God knows how bad this is going to be, but I'd assume terrible. Everyone?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Speak up.
It can't be as bad as the idea I thought he had about 5:15 when I came out of Oxford Circus tube station on Tuesday, when I thought this is an absolutely ridiculous idea, and that turned out great. I mean, we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's just get Speedgoat's rating out of 10. How excited are you? I mean, Tope doesn't get excited much about anything. Just look at his face. But Tope, how excited are you about seeing me and the team back on stage and you controlling it all and doing all the stuff?
Do I get more time than I had last year?
No, Tope, you're going to have no time. Although I have sent our presentation over, right? So I'll let you all into a little secret. I shouldn't really talk. I'll get shot for all this. Right, listen, make you laugh and then we'll move on. So they do this stuff on stage. They get these people, they talk about, nutrition and all this sort of stuff. They're selling their books up there and they're selling their, apps that give you coaching and all this sort of stuff, right? And then they put these slides up behind them and they talk about it and they go through it and everyone's really, not really interested because they're thinking I could do something to eat here, right? So they asked me for my slides for it. Right, Wilco, how many slides do you think I sent over to them for our presentation?
2.
Okay, 2. I mean, Tope, do you know this or not?
No.
Right, Tobe, how many do you reckon?
3.
3. Admin, shall I tell him the truth?
Go on then.
It's 1, and there's no information on it. It's just a picture of me.
What more do you want?
What value are we going to add on some slides?
Look,
We've got such a special guest, right? We want all the attention on her. I'm not going to say any more than that. But honestly, that's a true story. I sent it over. No presentation here. We're just going to play a lot of noise and get everybody up. Lovely. Right. Anyway, let's move on because I do want to talk quickly about the Shakeout Run in London. If you didn't know, we basically shut down London on Wednesday night. And I just want to say at the front end, thank you to everybody who came. Thank you very much to Sue for doing our London satellite group. So we got 200 people into London to celebrate our London satellite group. If you're in London on a Wednesday, right, you don't have to be a club member. You can go along. It's free. They meet at Embankment by the station, 6:30 on a Wednesday. All abilities. It's not like one of these usual London running clubs where you have to run a certain pace, or you have to go out of a certain group, or you get left behind, or you have to be like go and meet at a certain shop to wear certain T-shirts and certain shoes and then all this sort of stuff. No, none of that. This is a social running group for all abilities. Okay. There's no barrier to entry, and it's a 6:30 on a Wednesday. Get your butt over there. Wilco, well, let's stay with the rating system. How would you rate the London Christmas birthday Skechers inspired group shakeout epicness run out of 10?
9.5.
Why only 9?
I don't do 10s, and I don't do anything above 10. That is the best you're going to get, and it was an absolute. I'll tell you what, mate. I found it quite an emotional experience. I don't know about everybody else. Yeah, I mean, just seeing everybody, and we had. What was great about it, we toured around the West End and went all over the place. And I don't know what your experience was. I was trying to keep up the front with Hayden because he went off at about 7.5-minute miles.
Worst person to put out the front.
Well, I blame the organizer. Anyway, and we were greeted. You know, people were cheering us along the street and stuff like that, and it was such a brilliant vibe, and we had such a good time. And then seeing everybody else afterwards, all the great Fordies, we went to the pub and had a drink and catching up with everybody. I just thought it just don't get much better than this. It's absolutely brilliant. I had a wonderful evening.
And we're not selling what we do here, right? But I'm just saying, I've not yet found something similar in terms of the vibe, in terms of within. And I may be wrong, and I'm not being negative on anybody or any group or anything like that. But what happens when you guys all get together is genuinely something special. It is something to behold. I can't put my finger on it, whether it's the ethos of the club about the ultra inclusivity or the multiple different backgrounds and places that you come. But also, I think everybody goes there with no sort of BS or anything like that. But when you guys all get together, right, and it's just an amazing, like, for example, with Extreme Park Run and those sort of things. And, you know, where you see all you guys get together. Yeah, obviously I'm there, but I see it because I'm standing up and giving you a safety briefing. So I'm seeing all the connection. I'm flying around filming stuff and I'm seeing all the genuine interactions. I edit the videos and I see the hugs, the smiles that are real. It's I don't know anything else like it, Admin. Do you? Genuinely?
No, and that's why, like, I'd never thought about it as emotional, but that's probably says more about my character. But I can understand where Wilco's coming from, because suddenly you've got 200 people that have rocked up into the middle of London from all over the place. Half of these people have never met each other. And I actually think what it is it's kindness. Everybody goes in there with a kind heart and going, I might not know you. I've never met you, the person that stood next to me, but we've got something in common, which is we're here. And I just think that, yeah, it was lovely. It was great. I've got a rating, but I don't know if I'm rating you and your performance after my debrief or whether I'm rating the actual run.
Debrief.
They are very different.
Wilco, I've got a tough day. It wasn't as bad as Tobe's debrief after Newcastle shakeout run. That was probably an all-time low. When Toby loses his temper, no, I wouldn't say loses his temper. When he gets mildly grumpy, you know you've really hit a low. But Admin, it wasn't too bad. I thought I did well. I wasn't that annoying.
It depends who to. Not to me. You were to the guy at Trafalgar.
Take that megaphone away from you.
Yeah, I when we were going up New Bond Street, and you were at the police siren thing going, I
Brilliant.
thought he's going to get nicked.
It's when I
Well,
was
you
doing that
thought
song
or
Buckingham
hoping?
Palace.
And I said to Hayden and Lou, I said, he's going to get nicked in a minute. So it's going, and then just in true Chris Ford style, just when you just think, oh, it'll be all right, and it always is.
Yeah,
It don't matter
Really?
what happens. It does. You just think, oh, we'll never get away with that. Oh, we won't
Winged
do
it.
that. And he's just like, yeah, it'll be all right. And it is always. It don't matter what you do. I say it's just like always happens on these things. Like we just blag it and it happens and we'll get away with it.
There you go. It's the way we roll. It's
So
the
I'll
way
tell
we
you
roll.
what, I'll give the run a 10. I'll give you a 4, maybe.
Oh, right. Why is it so 4?
Because your outfit took it to a -6.
Outfit was
A
banging.
4 is average.
Outfit was banging. Wilco, did you see my leggings?
They were beautiful.
There.
Hard to miss.
Video drops Sunday, people. If you ain't got, no, not this Sunday, the following Sunday. If you haven't seen, just wait. It's not this weekend. It's the following
Yeah.
weekend. My leggings are banging. Tobe.
I
Guess
thought
what?
he's come as Banana Man.
No, I've got a pair for Tobe for Christmas. Don't tell him. And
Don't
Tobe,
do
they've got
leggings.
your size, extra large.
I don't
Look
do
at his
leggings,
face.
so it don't really matter at all what size they are.
Right, come on. Let's.
They might be in fashion by the time I give them back to you next year.
Oh dear. Okay, Wilco. Before we get into the main event, the sort of main dish, let's call it tonight. What emails we'll do? We'll park the race reviews. We'll do them next week. So I want to get into this goal setting things because it's it's an important
Okay, mate.
topic this week, and I'll come on to why. But before we do that, can we hit a couple of emails out? Let's do 2
Yes.
or 1.
I'll do. We got a message from Fletch. Now I hope you've all had a chance to catch up. If you didn't listen to it live last week, I hope you've all had a chance to listen to a great show that we did last week with Big Fletch, who unfortunately is not in the best health at the moment. He's undergoing radiotherapy and chemotherapy for treatment for head and neck cancer down in Maidstone. He was. I did get in touch with him this week, and he seemed in good spirits after his last chemo on Monday. But he said, could you read out a message? So I've got that here. I'm going to have to put my new Michael Caine glasses on so I can read it. Here we go. So Fletch said, evening all, can I firstly thank every single one of you who has listened and watched or played back last week's episodes and sent wonderful messages of support to me and thank me for speaking out. It was hard to do and emotional, but I wanted you to know how important it is to check your body daily. It's your body, and you know if there is something wrong. I am now into week 4 and halfway through treatment, and having all the support from you is helping me through it so far. The money donated is amazing. Alan raised it. Well, we did a Just Giving thing, and we raised about £2,000, which is brilliant, under Stand Up for Cancer. And we put to good news. So for me and the many other cancer patients, thank you. And thank you, Alan, for setting it all up. Lastly, thank you to all the amazing nurses and doctors out there treating us, and also the support teams helping members of patients' family too. God bless you all. Keep running. And most of all, enjoy your runs. All the best at Big Fletch Runs and hashtag Big Fletch has got this. You certainly have, mate. And we wish you all the very best. And tied in with that, we've had a few emails. We got one, and I think this one from Julian Lambert summed up. He said, just wanted to say thanks to you and all the team who put this together. I tend to keep myself to myself, but I love being part of the club. You bring a lot of support to lots of people, even those like me who hang around in the background. The last episode with Fletch was amazing. Thoughts and prayers to him. I think that just echoes the sentiments that we all feel.
We've got a lot of, or Fletch, more importantly, and got a lot of love on the socials that put out that her, what's it called, Hayden? What's his name again? Put out, and so that was really nice. I think we also got some really nice comments and things like that. But also, I wanted to extend not just to Fletch, but to all the people in 40 runs. And you know, even if you're listening to this, you're not part of 40 runs, it's just mainly different size, but you know, you're touched by it. You know, the fact that we've got you, you know, we're here to support you. and everybody else's. So best of luck to everybody. And again, I gave him a big shout out at the front end of last week, but another shout out to Al for kick starting the whole Stand Up to Cancer. And again, thank you to everybody who helped raise all that money within the club and the community. It's powerful stuff. So yeah, thanks very much for that. Right, thanks Wilco for reading that out. We appreciate it. Tobe, have you seen anything in the comments? Because people keep asking me to change stuff about. So we had to. Have you seen this?
Wakey,
What's
wakey.
going on?
No,
what,
in the
move people
comments,
around?
people you can ask, right? So if you're watching this live, we can change who's in position where. And Davey was a bit upset because admin wasn't top right, I think he said. So you can move them down. So I know this is no interest to you if you're listening to this as a podcast, but we can actually just play around with this all night if you want us to. And Tobe hadn't even noticed because he's half asleep because he's been out. We can't say any more than that. But yes, anyway, so let's move on, people. Let's dive into the most important topic, because then I also want to come on to what you guys are up to at the weekend, because it's the start of Christmas season, and I want to dive a little bit into that as well at the end. So, setting goals. Now, I wouldn't necessarily want to dive too deep into what your goals are. I don't think that's necessarily this episode. What I want to do, though, is highlight the importance now, December the 1st today, of setting your targets, setting your goals, thinking about what you've got planned next year, next month, your sort of short, medium, and long-term goals are. Now, why is that, FORDY? Now, there's many different sort of positives. There's some negatives as well. And I want to sort of go through, let's say 5, I think, what positives of setting goals now at this time of the year. And then what we'll do is we'll throw that over to each of the hosts and get their input on it. Is that a good way of doing it?
Yeah.
Fine, mate.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Because it's that time of year, right? Christmas is coming, and you've got the new year. People are going to be setting New Year's resolutions, all that sort of stuff. Maybe you've got something booked. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've just finished 6 stars and you don't know what to do with yourself. You could be anywhere in your running journey. Maybe you just got off the couch and you've done your 5K. Whatever it is, yeah, setting goals can give real purpose and give you that real motivation, okay? So the first sort of, the first sort of, best way to describe it, positive outcome of setting a goal, I think, is providing direction. I think fair to say. So it's giving you that drive, let's say, in terms of which direction you're going, because sometimes you can just sort of bob along and do nothing, and you're getting nowhere fast, but you're going out running and you think you're doing something, but you kind of lack that, direction. So, Toe, try and wake you up a little bit. In terms of goal setting, how do you find that it provides direction for you? Do you feel that without some sort of direction you do, or a roadmap, you do sort of like bumble about a bit and do nothing, or just eat?
I generally eat and do nothing, so it's all right. It does help. I mean, I find it both ways. It's like sometimes if I've got the right mindset, then a target and a goal sort of is helpful because it's something to go towards and you kind of know what's coming up. But then other times this is the negative side, isn't it? It's like I find I'm trying to aim for something which I don't necessarily want to do. If that makes sense.
But the question was do you, when you've had a goal, has it provided direction for you, or has it added stress, let's say? Remember, you chose the goal. You set your own goal. It's not like I said to you, Tobe, like you did, I've signed you up for so-and-so, you've got to do it. Okay. You've set your own goal, ideally, yeah? Do you think that helps provide direction or not?
It provides direction, definitely, but then I always find then life gets in the way and then it becomes stressful.
So Tobe's seeing the negative side, which is not a bad thing. Okay, it's important to have both sides. Wilco, do you find setting goals gives you that clear roadmap of how you're going to get to that goal that you have set?
Well, I tend to look at this a little bit differently. I mean, I have one overall goal with my running, and it encompasses the whole thing. My one goal is to make sure that when I stop running, it's because I can't run anymore and not because I don't want to anymore. So consequently, all the things that I do in the meantime are all stepping stones to keep going. So it's to gain new experiences, to do different things, to change. And then, so it becomes incredibly flexible for me. So sometimes my goal can be my run on a Monday morning. What do I want out of this? So I just chop them up into something. I just have this overriding thing that I'm just going to carry on running for as long as I possibly can and experience as much as I can. And then opportunities come, different things arise, and then I'm able to do it.
So
within that.
So you don't go out and set goals. You don't say to yourself, this is a short-term goal, this is a medium-term goal, and this is a long-term. You don't set that. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
I just think it depends on the context, because obviously, like if you're doing, say, I've done 4 marathons. When you do a marathon plan. So then you've got your 16 weeks, and then, but the goal is not, I can't do, right, I want to do it in X amount of time, because the problem is that you don't appreciate it once you've done it, because then the goal moves again. So if I go to Leeds and run 4:20 for a marathon, 25 minutes shorter than my thing, as soon as I've done it, it's be like, right, what can I do now? It's got to go quicker. You can't soak it all in. So it's just sort of like stepping stones. That's the way that I look at it.
So you don't think it provides direction?
I don't think that I particularly need direction from it. I can see that it depends on your mindset. If you need direction, then it's a great thing to do, to have particular goals, I think. But I'm a bit more laid back about it.
And again, there's no right answer here. Admin.
Let's be honest. If I don't have a goal, I don't really do much, is what I've learned.
Well, I have looked at your mileage. Carry on.
Which is, well, I've done more this week than last week.
No, you've done more walking to restaurants than you have done,
true.
Proper mileage. True?
Oh, it's December, though. It's virtually Christmas.
I mean, it ain't only December. That's my problem. But I need a goal to have some direction. If I don't, I feel like I just meander. So if we look at last year, for example, when I didn't have a marathon booked, because that was my goal last year, or wasn't in a plan, I kind of just plodded along. As soon as I've got a goal, and whether it be I'm going to run a marathon, whether it be I'm going to go to parkrun every week, whatever it may be, there's something in mind that I'm aiming towards, and it means that I've got some focus. So for me, it definitely helps. Otherwise, I feel like it's very easy, and it might be about my character, and I guess this is a point that everyone's different, but it's very easy to make an excuse of, I'm not doing anything, so it doesn't matter if I miss that run. Whereas we know when I'm in a plan or I've got a goal, I can be a little misconsistent, and I will get out there, whatever the weather, whatever the time is, and get stuff done. So,
can I just add something? Like, Sabrina said, she needed a plan and a focus and all that. I decided last year, before I'd done the Manchester Marathon in April, that I wasn't going to do a marathon in the autumn this year, because I'd done 4 in 18 months, and I thought I needed a rest and I wanted to do something different. But even though I've not had the direction, I've had the best 6-month period of running that I've ever had. I've broken my half marathon PB 5 times in 3 months. I've done a sub 25 park run, which I'd never done before, and I'd never thought I'd do. And I've actually benefited from not having that particular focus, that one thing that I have to do. I've been able to get out and enjoy it, and just, oh, this is going quite well, this has worked, and then just been more flexible.
Okay. All right, interesting. Right, in terms of now, I would say I benefit from this in terms of confidence. So if I'm got a goal, I think for me, or targets, I feel like they give me confidence to do what I'm doing. So that might sound a bit weird. So if I'm I don't know, I'm going to be training for Berlin, and I want to try and run a PB, that will give me confidence in my London Marathon training to really attack it. Because otherwise, if I didn't have a target, I could just meander through the training block. I could just waltz through it without too much of a care in the world, because I know pretty much that if I run 3 times a week, I could get through that, right? Now, this is not marathon-centric, people, this discussion, okay? This is only because the 4 of us have done a few of them. This can be applied to whatever distance or anything, okay? So I just want to put that. It's not marathon-centric. But for myself, in terms of boosting my self-confidence, if I've got a goal Now, it can be a 10K goal, half marathon goal. It really does help, I think, with the purpose around what I'm trying to achieve. It just gives me that confidence to go, you know what, if I'm trying to run a 3:20 marathon or a 1:30 half, yeah, to know that I'm moving towards that and I'm going to be going through a process, I've got a lot of confidence in myself, and it comes from being in something that gives me, to have that goal, that structure.
Chris, can I just ask,
Yeah.
is that through the experience of when you've previously done these things that you can look back on where you were sort of like, oh, well, I'm miles ahead in week 4 than I was before I went to Amsterdam, say, or something. And then do you cross-refer to where you were, and do you get confidence that way?
Yeah, I just get the confidence. I get the confidence to be able to go out and do my daily, my 2 runs, start doing my double runs. I get the confidence to start leaning on the pace in the long runs, because I know I need that, and that's going to help me. It just breeds, having those goals just breeds confidence for me, because ultimately I'm working towards something. So I feel like it really gives me some positive momentum, and I can go out there and I know I can run, 7:45 per mile for half of that 20-mile run, because I know I can do it. But if I wasn't necessarily in a plan, or I was not working towards something, I'd probably go out there, try and do that, and go, oh, you know what, I've done after 3 months, checked out, because I know I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So having that goal breeds for me self-confidence, I would say.
So it's a circular thing, so that you get confident because you're achieving the things, and then when you're achieving them, then
it feeds.
Yeah, it all goes around, and it
Quite
just it
powerful
snowballs. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's not relative. It's not stuck purely to running or training for a marathon. It's like if you're trying to get a faster 10K time, but you've worked really hard on the half marathon before that, to know you can go out and bust out a hard half marathon can really help. Again, lean on some of those sessions, go through the training. It's only a 10, 12-week plan and all that sort of stuff. It can really build confidence in you.
What I found with my recent sort of runs and things, like I get suddenly I've got really little goal, short span goals, because I've gone out and sort of like done a couple of right, and then it's like, right, in the next month I've got to smash that 25-minute barrier. I've got to do it. It's going to happen. You get in that way you get confidence to do other goals, but they're all general goals, like we all want to get faster, we all want to be better, we all want to enjoy it.
Well, not necessarily.
You can see them.
I'll correct you. Not everyone wants to get faster. Some people just want to be more consistent.
There were a lot of people. Yeah, there were a lot of people who you put a post up, didn't you, on Facebook today? And you're talking about, are you thinking about your goals? And lots of people are sort of like, yeah, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. This is the race I'm doing. I want to do, And there was Sasha who runs out of North London. She said, I just want to be more comfortable running a half marathon.
Yeah.
It wasn't a quantifiable target. It was just like, I think sometimes we can get too bogged down in, I want to run X amount of time, things like that. You can have goals of sort of like, I want to get out 3 times a week. I want to go, I want to, make sure that I do 1 cross training session a week. Or
what's that?
I want to.
Yeah, Wilco.
I was going to say the same thing, which is, I think it is, goals don't have to be time related or distance related. They can be just about getting out. And I think it's really interesting, even more so recently on the Facebook community in particular, you're seeing lots of people thinking about goals in a different way. And actually, what is my challenge? What is my goal? Is it to go out and do an ultra? Because actually I've done marathons, and actually that's just going to test me in a different way, because it's not time related. It's actually about, what can I do with my body? Actually, is it just about, I think I saw Gemma, who has been on obviously on a few times and comes to our Broxbourne group, but she was like, I need something to help me focus for December. What could I do? So her goal is just to get a bit more consistency back and get out there again. So I think it's about a mindset. It's what is my goal and why am I doing it? I think the why is really important.
And that brings me lovely.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go, just throw this together.
About providing accountability and motivation. Because I think, and you just nailed it in terms of goal setting. And it doesn't have to be about running a distance, running a time. Is it the fact that you're setting yourself something that's going to give you that accountability, like you just said with Jim, be more consistent, but also get the motivation from having those goals to get you out the bloody door and lace up and go for a run. And that's the thing, right, Toby? Because you're someone who openly goes in and out in terms of your consistency, right? You're probably like this. I think with a goal for you, when you do have a race or something, it does give you, and I've seen it does give you that motivation and that sense of accountability. Be fair.
It does work, I think, to a certain extent. I think the problem with me and a problem with a lot of people, I'm sure, is that as soon as I start to lose that goal because of life gets in the way, I haven't been able to do what I want to do, then it just goes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, then that's it. It just goes downhill. Whereas then to get back up and you have to go, right, we're going to do that. And it's like, it's finding that time, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that kind of leads on to determining like your why. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So why are you setting these goals? What is the reason that you're running? Is it because you want to raise money for a cancer charity and you're going to go and do the London Marathon because that would make a big difference to all the people you're going to raise money for? Or is it because you want to lose weight? Or whatever it is, whatever your why is, or you need to do some fitness, and running is about the only thing you can do. Whatever it is, I think determining your why also, it can be, having goals set can be good, but knowing why you're setting those goals is quite important.
I think
Abby,
it's
what do you
more
think?
important. I think
Yeah.
understanding why you're doing it, because otherwise I think it's really easy to get carried away with, oh, everyone's doing this. Shall I just do this?
Well,
Oh,
there's
I've
nothing wrong with
seen
that.
it. Well,
A
They
bunch
all
of
go to
sheep.
London. I'm going.
Yeah.
Sign up.
yeah, and I mean you're hobbling about now, so look what's
Yeah.
happened there.
Yeah, true.
Right. But no, I think the point is that I think it's really important to understand the why, because you can go, and I think someone's just put a comment in saying, like, at some point, the goal of just going out will not be enough if you truly want to see evolution in your performance. But that is if you actually want to see evolution in your performance. Not everyone does. For some people, they go, oh, I just want to be able to go out 3 times a week and run a 5K in 35 minutes, right? And that's fine. And they will be happy as anything knowing that 3 times a week they can go and do that. And that, for me, is as valuable and important because they're doing it maybe for their mental health, to keep their fitness, to keep their weight, to socialise with their mates because it's the only time that they get out because they're working a 12-hour shift or whatever it is, as someone going, I want to run a sub-4 marathon. So I think you've got to know why you're doing it. And if you are in a time-related or a distance-related goal, I think it is also about going, why? Is it because I want to push myself? Is it because I have hit something already? Is it because there's various different things for different people? But I think if you don't understand that why, you can get carried away with stuff that actually isn't what you want to do.
Because at the end of the day, at the end, the social aspect of it and the fitness aspects of it is what we're going to have left.
Yeah.
We're all going, if we carry on, if we carry on running as long as we can, eventually we'll come to the time where we just want to sort of like just have a chatty park run with our mates and things like that, once a week. If we're doing that, we're still doing something, if we're in our 70s or so. You see people at park run who are like, you ever volunteer at a park run, you should marshal and watch so many people go, and it's a social thing, and they just go and have a run with their mate at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And it's just a brilliant thing. And I look forward to having hopefully achieved lots of things that I want to achieve, to one day being one of those people who turn up on a Saturday morning and just do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
That's what Alf said in the comments, says, isn't it? Is it these goals do more 40 shakeouts and London Park Run is my goal for 2024.
I don't actually own a watch.
It's not about time or distance or anything.
That brings me actually onto my sort of last point before we quickly touch on how to set these goals, give you some heads up on that. But I think what setting goals can also do, which I think is a really good thing, is trying out something new. And that can be going to your first park run. That could be going to your first FORDY runs, shakeout / group run, get together, hang out in the pub with Wilco because he's buying the first round. Whatever it is, or like you said, admin, with an ultra, whatever. I think having goals or trying to set yourself some goals will also get you to do something new, right, Toe?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, depends what goals you're going to set. I mean, it's always trying to find different sort of distances and different ways to go is always it stops you going for the same thing over and over again.
But I think the best goals that I set every year are the challenges we do, Tobe. And they're not
They're not my goals though.
No, but they're not. Yeah, but they are. They're not distance. They're not distance based. They're not time based. They're not. They're just going out and doing something new. Like you took me camping. Right. That's for me is saying no. Right.
So you're looking forward to the biking goal.
But we don't do biking. But my point is that doing goal setting doesn't necessarily have to be singular in terms of I'm going to set a half marathon and I'm going to run 1:45. It could be I'm going to go and go away with mates and do a bit of camping, a bit of running, whatever it is. But having goals throughout the short, medium term distance, I do believe can get you to do some new stuff. I think, which is awesome, which I think makes us not just better runners, but better people, right? It's like traveling and things like that. I do think, like as we've said, it does provide direction, having the goals. It does, I believe, give self-confidence to people. You might not believe it, but you probably will gain confidence from having those goals. And more importantly as well, as admin said, is understanding why you're doing it, which will then give you that motivation, that accountability. I think that's the importance of goal setting. I think probably in a sort of 20-minute nutshell. I think for the thing for me to sort of leave you with on this, and then we'll jump into something else, is how to set those goals. Because routinely, I see it as obviously with my coaching hat on, when people come to me and go, FORDY, I'm going to go and do a 3.5-hour marathon. All right, okay. Have you run the distance before? No. What's your sort of times roughly that you're basing this on? Oh, well, I'm running a 5K in about 35 minutes at the moment. I'm doing, about 10 miles a week, that sort of thing. You've got to be realistic with your goals. Now, there's nothing to say that person won't achieve what they want to do, what I just said. But there is a short, medium-term goal to get there. So that's their long term. What's our medium term? Okay, let's just go and let's firstly, short term maybe is to get the marathon done firstly. Then our medium is to bring the time down and we move through it like that, right? But having realistic goals, but also a time scale on those goals, I think is key to when you're setting them. So my question to leave this section of this award-winning podcast is, admin, when you set goals, how have you done it?
I'm a bit textbook and it's a bit funny, isn't it? But for me, it's like that whole SMART thing, which is be specific about it. Don't make them too broad. Don't make them too big. But what is it? What's that one specific thing that is the goal, right? You're right. Be realistic. What can I actually achieve? Think short, medium, long, or gold, silver, bronze. What does that look like? Make sure it's going to be achievable. Don't set yourself up for something that's so far out of the realms of possibility that you're going to end up disappointed and it's going to knock your confidence. Yes, you want to push yourself. You want to kind of go, actually, I want to go outside of my comfort zone, but not to a point where I actually feel like I'm going to crumble, because then I think emotionally that is very difficult and that can have the adverse effect that you want it to. And I think you're right. Be time related. When am I actually going to do this? What is realistic for me? Is it 6 months? Is it in 6 years? That's okay. Whatever that goal is, it doesn't make a difference, but just be realistic about, to Toby's point. Otherwise, sometimes having a goal and not being able to achieve it, or because life gets in the way, which it does for all of us, can actually really knock you. So be realistic about when you're going to do that.
It could be a noose around your neck if you're not careful. So I would temper it, and I would do it in a smart way, like admin said. Right, so I tell you what, we're going to stop that there, because I want to move on to something that's quite interesting, because it's the 1st of December. You're laughing because you're worried. No,
I'm never worried, mate. I want
to know, because I think it's a good episode to do this on. It's the 1st of December. We've got the festive season. Well, it's here, isn't it? Let's be honest. We ran around London and there were bleeding Christmas decorations everywhere. There was a load of weirdos running around with. Oh, that was us. So I want to know, in December, how do you navigate the festive period as a runner? Speak up.
Eat more than normal.
That can't be possible. I seen how much you've eaten on a night out, Tobe. It's not normal what you eat. So can you add some value to the listeners, please? You haven't got your hat on, so you've not added that value. So our sponsors are upset now. So what actually? Oh yeah, take it back. Can you add some value to the listeners, please? Go.
How do I? Probably. Yeah. See, I don't. I don't have goals in December. I just run when I can. That's all I ever do.
To be fair, right, I've picked the worst person because it's probably his busiest time of the year. Brilliant. Right,
About 5 hours sleep this
Will
week.
can't help him out. He's struggling big time.
Well, I'm the same. It is one of the busiest times of year at work for me. Lots of people do, they will have sort of 10 days off at Christmas. So there will be a lot of chance to sit at home, sit on the telly, gorge on the Ferrero Rochers and watch a load of films and stuff like that. Whereas, I'll get a couple of days off, but not a lot. And I've got a hell of a day on Christmas Eve and things like that. So it's not going to be that different for me. And also I'll have a couple of things as well. I always go to a park run on Christmas morning. It's something that I look forward to do, and I would recommend it to everybody to do as well. And also we've got in Hertfordshire, we've got a 10-mile race in Buntingford, which is the 30th of December this year, which is a nice local event. It absolutely hashed it down with rain last year, but it's run by Royston Runners, and it's a great little event. And that's quite a nice thing to have, like a little race, like between Christmas and New Year. It breaks everything up as well because, you don't get stuck in a rut with watching the telly and eating turkey and sandwiches and things like that. So it won't be that much of a difference to me, really. I'll still be getting out as much as I can, and we'll be out Boxing Day running and various other days as well.
So you don't change anything in terms of navigating the festive period?
No.
You crack on, basically. All right, admin, what about you?
I do change it a bit because I think, to what everyone's saying, life gets busier. There's social events, there's meals, there's this, there's that. So I tend to look at it rather than going, I've got 4 weeks, I've got 6 weeks, whatever it is. I go, right, every week, what 3 days do I think I'm going to be able to run this week? Right. So just looking on a more short-term basis, because it might not always be the same. So it might not always be like usually it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It could be that you go, actually, this week I can get out on a Monday morning, a Wednesday night, and a Saturday to park run. That's fine. But I think looking at it on a more short-term basis helps rather than trying to go, oh my God, I've got something to do in April and I need to start now. I think that can just be really overwhelming. Enjoy the festive period. Don't let your running feel like you can't go out and have fun. But if you want that level of consistency, just break it down a little bit further.
See, this is what happens when you have a social life, you see.
I mean, this is
just go to,
Yeah, I mean, I can't relate. I think actually it's very interesting because there's this, apart from what Speedgoat said, I can't remember what he said, but it wasn't much. But there's
I've got no idea what I said either, so I won't worry about it.
Just remember, I will pick you up Christmas morning for park run. Yeah, we are.
Oh,
yeah.
I've only got one goal between now and Christmas.
What's that, Toe? Do the Christmas Eve run with me.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, we've got a new victim. Don't tell him.
No, I know.
We can't tell you, Wilco, but we do something. We always take a new victim with us every year.
It can't be me, mate. I'm too busy.
It's not you. No, we only do people that we think could take it because it's quite brutal.
So, what are you saying?
Yeah, no, Wilco, honestly, I'm doing you a massive favour.
There's a nice hill involved.
Huh?
There's a nice hill involved.
No, it's worse. It's when you're knee deep in something. Anyway,
it's the one at the hill.
Yeah,
at the bottom of that hill, isn't it? When it's wet.
Oh, that's going to be. I tell you, I can't wait to see his face when he goes through it. What was you saying? You're doing one thing. What is it? Come on.
I had one goal, which I started a few weeks ago because I never really run now. Is to try and do a half marathon a week.
What? What, the distance or like total 13 miles a week?
No. One long run, which is like 13 miles.
Is that why you keep messaging and saying I'm doing 13 miles on Sunday?
I'm trying to get someone to drag along with me.
He keeps messaging every Sunday. I'm doing 13 miles on Sunday. Tope, I don't run on Sundays. No, I'm doing 13 miles. Anyone want to join me? No, Tope, I don't run on a Sunday. And he
really?
I might have to take
I would have thought by now you would go, next week I'm going to come out of him.
Well, I might try because no, I can't this Sunday. I might have to take you up on that when I'm back from running. I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, that was it. So I think the way to wrap that up in terms of the festive period, I've seen a lot of that this week in terms of, and also I've had people where I've been doing plans for them and stuff over the last few weeks because maybe they've got something in the spring like Brighton, Manchester, London marathons, right? Or half marathons, London landmarks and a couple of others that I've been writing plans for. It's like, okay, FORDY, right. Plan kicks in on January to whatever, but what do I do now? Sort of thing. Like, what do I do now? So basically, I say take the plan and take out of that the days you've got to run. So what we've agreed within your life, whether that's shift work or whatever, we've said that these are the days pretty much you're going to run. Start running on those days. Whether it's going out and running with no watch and going out and doing 20 minutes, because that's all you've got time for. But start running on the days that it says that you're going to run. So if you don't have a plan, but you know that you've got something in the new year and you're going to be running on X, Y, and Z, find some of that consistency now. Find those patterns now. You don't have to go out and do the effort levels and the the certain sessions that it says on your watch, that you've paid £1 million to go and tell you to do. Just go out and run the certain days that you're probably going to be running. The day that maybe you are potentially going to be doing a longer run, maybe you make that half hour, 35, 40 minutes. So you're out there for a little bit longer. Just try now and get some of that consistency. Also, if you do have a plan, have a look at it and take some of the sessions that you fancy having a go at. There's nothing to stop you going out and busting out that interval session on the day that you're meant to do it from week 8 or week 7. I wouldn't necessarily take the 20 miler that's probably like a week 14, but, chuck some of those sessions in and have some fun with it while you do it. Because what you're building there is that consistency. And as I always say, consistency is king. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get the 5K or you're trying to, train for that ultra. Consistency is what will get you around either way. Okay. So have some fun with it. Look at what you got coming. Look at what it's telling you to do. Or like I said, or maybe you're not somebody who does follow a plan, but you know that usually you run X, Y, Z. Start putting some of that in now, but don't put the pressure on of running a certain distance or a certain speed or a certain time or a certain heart rate. Just go out there and enjoy it.
I'll just say, Chris, I think that's some of the best advice I've ever heard you give. I think that's really good. To get back into the swing of things before you have your plans really good. And what I would add as well is January the 1st is a lousy time to try and anything new or go in a big boost. Right, it's January the 1st. I'm going to start smashing it now and all that sort of thing. Don't worry about the calendar in that respect. And don't be governed by New Year's resolutions and things like that.
Throw it out the window. Start now. And it will give you some goals. So maybe a short-term goal. We spoke about it. It is to go out and run a bit more consistently in December, despite the festive period. Like Amy brilliantly put it. Right, my week's looking like absolute shocker. I'm going to be out on the lash 3 times this week, but I know I can get 3 runs in. I can do Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, probably get out, park run on Saturday. I know I can do that this week. Brilliant. That's a goal this week to tick them off. There you go. Straight away, you're into goal setting, and we've shown you the benefits that can provide. And all of a sudden, you start getting that consistency going because you're going, actually, I quite like doing these 3 runs a week. It's a bit nice, this. Oh, I like that. And then you start, showing up a park run every week, and then you get into that. So it's really positive that, we've spoken about setting these goals. They don't have to be written down on a piece of paper or in a running journal, which is on sale on Amazon. And it's called Believe by 40 Runs. You're welcome, by the way. It's available to everybody. And thanks to everybody who's bought that. Lovely. Keep the reviews coming in. But you don't have to write them necessarily in a journal. Great plug there. Be fair. And what are you laughing at me?
You.
It's a brilliant way of plugging the book. It's a journal. It's not a book. The book's coming. But the journal's brilliant. I generally had good feedback about the journal. I think everyone should buy it. I might give some away at the National Running Show. The only thing I'm worried about is if I get a load of the journals to give away at the National Running Show, if I'm throwing them into the audience, I might get done for like a lawsuit that takes somebody's eye out.
We can't throw them. There's no way. No, that's a health and safety issue. I'm calling that now.
Yeah, but you threw socks at people in Newcastle.
Yeah, that's true.
That was soft.
Yeah, you did. I got it on video.
Yeah.
So did she throw them?
Yeah, but it's a bit different to a book, isn't it?
Well, this is what I'm worried about. It's a journal, Tobe. Big difference.
What is the difference between a book and a journal?
What?
What's the difference in a book and a journal?
Well, the journal, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've got a journal. This is brilliant. This is gold dust. This is pay millions to advertise on this.
People should switch off now.
No, don't
worry about the next minute.
Ask Petra. She had a journal, right? And she writes in there all the stuff that you can't write on Strava. That's the key to this. You set your goals in it, you set your targets in it, you put your times if that's relevant or whatever, and you have that accountability. But the most important thing is you can write in there how you're feeling, how that run went, what it meant to you, and all that sort of stuff. No, I don't know. A lot of people don't like to write it on Strava or put it down somewhere. But you can genuinely write that down and look back at it and go, you know what? 51 weeks ago, I was like, I can't do this. And now I've just smashed the living daylights out of that, or I just took my time down. And writing it down, right? My therapist says, right, by putting it out there, writing it down is the best thing you can do for anything. By writing stuff down that's on your mind is the best thing for you. She tells me all the time. The only thing is I'm now doing about 150 pages a day to try and help me, and it's not really working. I should really take them meds.
Are you using the checklist yet, like I showed you?
No, Admin showed me this new thing, right? It's brilliant. It's like a secret weapon for anyone with ADHD that's not taking their medication. On notes, let me know in the comments if you know you could do this, because I didn't.
It's
you
not
can
new.
actually write things down and you can tick them as you do them. I mean, I email my lists to myself, and then I have to like print them off and then scrub them out. But now I've got this new secret weapon and if you've got ADHD, use it. It's brilliant. It's so good, and you can physically tick them off as you do them. It's so good. Anyway, what was we talking about?
Seems like a therapy session.
Yeah,
Like therapy,
I've learned a lot. We were talking about not going mad on New Year's Day.
that was it. I don't know where we went. Abby started talking about the journal. She's trying to plug it again. She's on commission.
No, but can I do a quick shout out actually? Because
any shout out.
There's a girl I work with called Chloe who today posted, and she did her first. She's doing Couch to 5K. She did her first 20-minute solid run, which
Hero.
I just thought was brilliant. Because it just goes to everything we're saying, which is don't start on Jan the 1st. She's obviously clearly a few weeks into it now, and she'll probably be doing 5K by Christmas, which I just think is phenomenal. And she's lovely and incredible. And she said that it's just been really good for her getting out for her own reasons.
Brilliant.
And I just thought
I'll make you right on that. And that's a good point. Don't wait to start your Couch to 5K. Yeah. Do it now. If you've been injured and you've got to get back on it, start now. Don't put it off. What is it? Don't put off the day we can do. What is it?
Don't put off what you can do today till tomorrow or whatever.
Or something like that, innit?
But the thing is, like, if you can get out and do your Couch to 5K, get 3 sessions a week in Christmas week, you could do it any week.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to smash it. Don't wait till January the 1st, people. Just get out there and get involved. Buy the journal. Get out there. Get involved.
Some of that is a good thing to do.
Now, before we go, can I just say, we do like getting your emails. If you want to drop us a line, longrunshow@gmail.com. And also race reviews. Keep them nice and brief, so I don't have to wade through loads of stuff. But, you know,
you
if
have
just
to give a rating.
Yes, and must. They will not be considered for broadcast unless they contain a mark out of 10.
Simon's ratings. If you're not seeing it, watch the Cambridge race vlog, where he famously gave them the lowest mark and upset the race organizer, everybody in Cambridge. Watch that video and make sure then you understand. Remember, he gave London Marathon a 7. Just defies logic. So we want your race reviews and we want your emails, and you can email in about anything. You can email in about how amazing Toby looks without a hat on. You can email in about admin and the fact she's out every night this week and not running. And you can email in and talk to Wilco about how his new light is making his face look really, 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 really white tonight.
That's my natural complexion, man. It's you scare me.
Anyway. But no, I'm serious. It's just emailing. Or if you want to come to the National Running Show, you can get 25% off tickets till December, whatever they told me in the email, and I didn't read. Using the code 40 runs, and we're live, people. Saturday, 11 something o'clock. And we're doing a massive shakeout group run afterwards where we're going to shut down Birmingham like we shut down London this week. Right, Tobe, are you planning on running this weekend? Oh, yes, I'm doing 13 miles on Sunday. I
might mix it up, actually. Might be Saturday.
You're doing 30 miles on Saturday?
I might be doing 13 on Saturday.
I know somebody might be doing 6 miles.
Do you?
I'll let you know about that. Admin, what are you running apart from to the nearest restaurant for something to eat?
I'm actually going to, I did 8 miles last Sunday, so I'm going to try and do 8, if not 10.
13?
Are you going to do that with Speako?
No, because I'm doing that down the Kingston River, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm not at home. So.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Wilco, what are you getting up to this weekend?
I will be I'm making my debut at St Albans Park Run this week because I got a rare Saturday off. So I go a little bit
Why
further
did you
afield,
choose
going with
St
Ben
Albans?
because that's where Ben and Tracy are going. They said, should
No.
go to St Albans.
It's because there's the Waffle House.
What?
Waffle House.
But the thing is, I've heard all about this Waffle House. But the thing is, Saturday night is a big night because it's a Hartford 40 night out, and we're going out for lunch. So I can't really go out for breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, you
And
can.
beers on the
That's
same
an
day.
absolute lie. I've
Yeah.
seen what you're eating at the Edinburgh Marathon.
I'm a changed man now, mate. I'm a
Oh, yeah, it's
150
true.
half
He's an
marathoner,
athlete
you
now.
know? I've got
He's-
targets and goals and things to think about.
Oh,
So,
shit.
yeah. And then, depending on what sort of state I'm in on Sunday, which I'm
Oh,
also off, I'll go out for a little trot, I expect. Just clear the air.
Now we've got the Berlin Marathon ballot next week, isn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday. And
Wednesday.
Chicago as well, I think, is Tuesday. I think I saw something saying Chicago's next
I
week.
think there's a couple of ballots next week. So the reason I mention it is good luck in those ballots. Don't forget, if you're an affiliated member of the 40 Runs Running Club, all 10 billion of you, then make sure you reply to that email and say that you want to be considered for the London Marathon club places that we've got. Please be considerate. If you do already have a ballot place or you have a good for age place, maybe don't enter the ballot so you then don't defer it. And then, do you know what I mean? Play the game. Be considerate to other people and give other people a shot if you can. I'm not in the ballot as always. I try and increase the odds, as they say, by pulling out of that. So, yes, that's it from us, guys. Yes, we just did an hour of talking nonsense. Can you believe it? Toby's still not put his hat on, which I'm really looking forward to. Toby, you on next week on the show?
No, he's not.
I don't know.
I was hoping he would wear his hat.
I might actually be out next week.
Oh, out.
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, really.
Well, 30 miles by the sound of it. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in live. Thank you very much for everybody who's watched this, listened to this back, whatever you were doing. We've kind of given up, really, to be honest with you. I'm finding the Tobe. Can you do the outro? Because I'm done for today.
Yeah, I need to find it. Hold on.
Oh, dear. We'll talk about
doing well
yourself.
today.
We'll see you all. I'll see you on Monday. I'm live at 8 o'clock, people. Come and join me. I'll be talking about these. Hang on.
I found
I'll be
it.
talking about the Saucony Ride 17. So
Ooh.
just make sure you come along on Monday. We're going to be talking all things running shoe related.
Where can you
live
get
at
the
8
journal
o'clock.
from?
What?
Where did you get the journal from?
Where did I get the what? The journal's from Amazon, Tobe.
Okay.
And it's called Believe by 40 Runs, and it's priceless. Apparently, they're selling, I think, whatever it is, but I know they're on eBay for about £500 to £600 because they're in such demand.
So they make good Christmas presents, Ben Chance.
Yeah, they make very good Christmas presents, and if you come to the National Running Show, you can get yours signed
And a selfie.
and a selfie. But speak to Si because he's organising that. Right, let's go.